Hello folks, and welcome to the Genius 2 Tympanic thermometer calibration video. In this video we'll cover the following topics: calibration, troubleshooting, some common problems, and we'll look at resources. So with the Genius 2, again we've got the operation and service manual for the thermometer itself. There's some cleaning tips, and there's a separate manual also on the calibrator. So here's the cleaning guide showing how to clean the tip, what sort of products to use. This is the manual on the calibrator and checker itself. So the Genius 2 has some common problems, most related to the lens itself. Usually it's dirty and may just require cleaning. So the first step is always just to clean the lens. The probe covers can get damaged, or they may just be out of date, or the unit itself may require recalibration. So the Genius 2 calibration checker has two parts. One is to check the unit, and the other is to perform a calibration if it's not performing to specification. It does this by using a low and a high target. It is dedicated to the Genius 2 thermometer. So here we are, just having a look at the unit itself. Very solidly put together, a carrying case. So when it's first turned on, you get a message there saying that you should allow 15 minutes to warm up. This is to make sure the targets are stable. So once that 15 minutes is up, we can continue on. So just again looking at the main menu, got some preferences, which is really just language. You can also set the site information if you're doing reports and that sort of thing. It's useful. Time and date, of course. So here we are, just making sure the targets themselves are stable and within specification. As you can see, the low target is about 32 degrees and the high target just over 40 degrees. So you can see the screens prompt you to perform each step. So the first part is to actually connect the thermometer to the calibrator via this small adapter cable, and these small pins are worth checking. Occasionally they do break. Just showing you how it clips into the battery compartment. And how it comes out. So it's important to make sure you've got a stable ambient temperature when performing calibration. If you've got air conditioning in the room, it may give you some problems because the temperature is varying, and you will get an error 6, ambient temperature out of range error. So here we are, just going through the steps involved. We've connected the thermometer to the checker. We've got our probe covers in place, ready to go. So you've really got to make sure you're set up well in advance when doing this, and you need a bit of concentration as well, because there's a few steps to follow. I've sped this up a little bit just to keep the video moving. As you can see, we've passed the check. You can see the target and the thermometer match. So this is a pass. We can also produce a calibration report on a little USB stick. It's quite a thorough report, which will be useful to give to customers or attach to the service report. If the unit fails that initial check, then a prompt will be that it requires calibration, but it may take an extended period of time depending on how many times calibration has to be repeated. So in preparation for the calibration, make sure your probe tips are ready. Try not to touch them because oils from your fingers can contaminate them. And again, just take your time and pace yourself. If you take too long, you may get an error of 3, but that's okay, just continue on. So it just means you have to start all over again. Again, I've sped this video up a bit. As you can see, the steps are fairly straightforward. The flashing light indicates which target to use, and there's prompts on the screen as well. So we're going back and forward, low target, then to the high target, back to the low target again, swapping probe covers in between each step. So you really need to concentrate for this part, because if you get distracted and accidentally place the thermometer in the wrong target, you have to repeat the whole step over again. And as you can see, we failed calibration. The difference between the target and the thermometer is too great, so we have to repeat. So each time you repeat the calibration, that variance will reduce, or ideally it will reduce. So again, going a second time now. And we've passed the calibration. And here again you can see the variance has reduced to almost 0, so it's acceptable. If the calibration fails, it may be necessary to repeat it up to 2, 3, maybe even 4 times. If it won't recalibrate, it's worth just checking that the lens is clean or going through and cleaning it again, otherwise the unit may require replacement, so contact your supplier with that. Just taking apart the calibrator itself to show you what's inside. Few screws. Again, I've just sped this up a bit. There we go. As you can see, very nicely put together. The 2 targets there, some thermal shielding around them to maintain a constant temperature. Note the 2 trim pots there on the calibrator that are used to calibrate it, so annually you may need to send the unit away for calibration. Okay, just having a look at some of the problems that may come up during calibration. Again, I've mentioned error 6, which relates to the ambient temperature, so try and find a room that's fairly stable in temperature. Somewhere around 23 degrees usually works. And some days you may just find it's not possible to get a stable temperature. So pick a good time, perhaps early in the morning or later in the afternoon when the temperature's fairly stable. And once you get the calibrator set up, It's a good idea to perhaps do all the units you've got in the workshop in one go if you can. This can save you a lot of time. And it's also worth tracking those units that require frequent calibration or take greater than 3 to 4 attempts to recalibrate. This might indicate they're unstable and may require replacement. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time.